Tasha and I have been spending a lot of time at the house over the past week. Not because, obviously we like spending time together, but because we've been self isolating since last Friday. So this has really been the longest that we've been at home, I think, ever.
And just to be clear, not just the two of us, but also the kids. So it has been the whole family here in the house trying to adjust to this new normal, rearing kids while also working his job and me working inside of One Big Happy Life. So it's been pretty crazy. But we also wanted to share with you guys, because we're going to be talking about what we've learned over the past week. But next week, we are going to be doing a live 2-hour workshop to help you create a financial emergency plan. So, how do you prepare your finances when you are in the middle of a crisis, and so that you're able to come out on the other side of this crisis ready to hit the ground running, pick your life back up when things get
Whatever
back
the
to
case may
normal.
be.
Yeah. So head on over to onebighappylife.com/workshop to sign up. It's super interactive, action oriented, and at the end, you will have your crisis plan. So join us live.
Yeah, so we've been at home the entire week because we did shopping in advance. So I wouldn't say it's not a huge stockpile, but we did, we're not hoarding food, but we definitely shopped in advance so that we could, stay at home and not have to run out a whole bunch.
So shopped in advance, because that one of the things we've realized is we did not plan our shopping well enough.
Yeah, so normally we have staples on hand that you just think they're always there, but if they run out, well, then you pick them up at the store that week. So I just, in my mind, thought, well, of course we're going to have these things, and overlooked some staples that we were actually short of. And so, we need, onions are in everything. And we have 2, and they're kind of old.
Yeah, as in I used one to cook this past week, and I had to cut off quite a bit of moldy parts. But the other parts were still good, so...
Yes, that's an unfortunate batch of onions on top of that.
Yeah.
And so we need to go out for that. We ran out of hand soap. We have it in the dispensers, but we do not have the bigger bottle to refill.
And talk about the worst time to run out of soap to wash your hands. What?
Yeah, so since we're at home anyway and not leaving, our hands should only be as dirty as they would normally be around the house. So at least there's that.
Plus, we do have hand sanitizing wipes, not alcohol-based ones, but we had some Baby Ganix wipes on Subscribe and Save for several years, so we've got tubs and tubs of them. So something else that we've learned during this time is that we need to develop a new schedule, because now we have a new normal. It used to be, well, Joseph had his days, he was going into work. Every morning I would get Reeves up, get him ready to go to school. Alexis would drop him off at school, and then I would have all these hours to get my stuff done with a relatively empty house, and that is not the case anymore.
So with more of us in the house, there is definitely more opportunity for distraction and noises.
Yeah, so part of that is just going to be figuring out, okay, well, who is going to watch Reeves when? What are the different activities that Reeves is going to be doing throughout the day? So we're never scrambling to figure out, oh my gosh, well, what should Reeves do? But also, I have to say, I have never been more thankful for the amount of space that we have as I am right now. Just being able to be in different floors of the house. So, Joseph will be upstairs, I'm on the main floor, and the kids may be down in the basement. Or Reeves just being able to go out into the backyard where we have a play set that he can run around and slide on. It's just made this whole thing so much easier, and made it so that we don't feel, we still feel a little cooped up. We can go outside for a walk, but just having that space, and having workout equipment downstairs is also incredibly helpful.
Yeah, although none of us have really been working out hard this week. So I keep re-injuring my leg, and so I complain about it all the time around the house. But yeah, so I keep doing that. So I haven't really been working out much. And then otherwise, it is kind of busy making the adjustment. So, but but it's there and we will use it, especially if this drags on like 10 or 12 weeks, like some people think.
And I will definitely be using it because one of the things I decided to do this week is to do a healthy wage, which is where you bet that you'll lose a certain amount of weight in a certain amount of time. And if you win, then you get a whole bunch of money. So I think I bet $600 and I'll get $1,300 in 6 months, assuming I lose the 50 pounds that I said that I'm going to lose. So I'm really going to just be focusing on eating healthy, watching what I eat, and making sure that I work out regularly. I worked out once this week, and so far I have lost 7 pounds since I made the healthy wage. And I think the reason that I lost that weight, because I've been eating a lot of peanut butter and crackers, is actually that I think that I may have gained a lot of weight because of the hormones that I was taking to do our IVF transfer cycle. So it may be that now it's just suddenly all my body's letting go of everything. But honestly, hanging out inside the house is a perfect time to focus on your health and fitness routine. There's so many apps out there that can help you do exercise even when you don't have equipment. So I've never used it, but I hear Beachbody is a great app for at-home like body weight exercises.
Oh, and I'm sure there's tons of free stuff if that one's paid. Like lots of people are doing it because obviously there are a lot of people that need options, and you might not want to do one thing one day and do it the same all the time. One thing that's been nice that, it's kind of a pleasant surprise. Reeves is becoming a better eater now because he's not going to school, and so there it's kind of up in the air whether or not how much they enforce how much he eats. But here, since there's oversight every single time, we're not letting him get away with, oh, I don't feel like eating that. It's like, no, this is what you're going to have today. And it's just going to be a matter of time until you eat it, and just watch. It will happen. And it has. He's been breaking down faster.
Yeah,
faster.
That's what it is. The battles are shorter because so we eat a lot of hot meals, but at school they won't reheat it. So, and like Joseph says, they don't make him eat anything. So even if we send him something for lunch and he skips lunch, then he'll get the snack at school and that'll hold him over till he gets home. And then at home, he'll put up much bigger fights. So to give an example, the very first night, Friday night that we were in our first night in self-quarantine, I bought Chef Boyardee as a fun treat, right? Because to me, it's basically, it's junk food, right? It's not like the healthiest thing in the world. But Alexis loved it when she could have that as a kid. And I offered it to Reeves and he lost his mind. It took him, and we always tell him, you just have to take the one bite, right? We're like 1 bite rule. And it took 3 hours for him to take his one bite. And of course he takes the bite and he's like, I like it. Okay. Because that's what always happens.
Yeah. He always says that whatever we have him try, that he likes it.
Yes. So then fast forward last Thursday, I made rice and beans and I decided he was going to eat it, right? I was going to offer it to him. And he said to put the rice on the beans on the rice. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
But okay.
Sauces have typically been, or like things mixed together. He's been like,
no. And so, I said, okay, here's your bite. And he's like, well, I don't want that. I want something else. And I'm like, this is all we have. I'm like, look, we are in like the apocalypse right now. Rice and beans is what we are eating. And he's like, this is all the food we have. And I'm like, yep. And he's like, okay. So then he opens his mouth and he liked it and he ate the whole bowl and it didn't even take 15 minutes. So if there is one thing about this whole experience that has just been incredible, it is the tearing down of the picky eater that is Reeves. It's been the best.
Yeah, and I mean it's still work in progress. There, he'll delay eating some things, but it is definitely a huge improvement. So we've been enjoying that. And in terms of like, are we going crazy staying inside the house? Do we feel like we absolutely have to leave and go anywhere? So I personally have not cared one little bit that I haven't been able to leave and go anywhere. What's upsetting to me is that I cannot go work out and I can't ride my bike outside. But it's not because I feel like I have to get out of the house. It's because I want to be able to work out and, in theory, get back on track to compete in these triathlons, which realistically are probably going to be postponed or canceled at this point.
So for me, I've been okay too. Like I've said before in the previous video we did kind of a week ago talking about where we were about to go into self-isolation. Because I work from home, I run our business at home, I rarely leave the house. Alexis is the one that drops Reeves off and picks him up. Normally Joseph is the one that grocery shops. So that means I have zero reason to leave the house. And as a matter of fact, they will try to force me to just go outside and take a walk. Like that's how bad it would be where I'd go weeks without actually stepping foot outside of the house. So it doesn't
We're almost
feel
never successful with getting you to
getting me
go
to walk.
outside.
That's
Yeah.
true. But we can walk. We live in a neighborhood that's not, where there's plenty of opportunity for you to walk and maintain, honestly, like 20, 30 feet between people at the very least, because there's just not that many people out walking. There are people, but it's not crowded. So we could go outside.
Yeah. The one person that, that really says that it bothers, I'll give it away, her, is Alexis, because she came to us and said that, going to the school and her college and spending time with friends, getting out of the house is actually something that really matters to her. And so whenever there was an opportunity to go, she jumped on it. We did keep her in until yesterday because there was an errand that she could run where she didn't have to interact with any people. And unfortunately, the errand wasn't successful. We needed an emissions test on our car. And I thought, hey, nobody's going to be doing those. So she can just go to one of the self-service kiosks and wipe it with a disinfecting wipe and, wash up when she gets home and it'll be fine. But for whatever reason, it wouldn't let us do it. So we have to do that later.
Another errand we are going to have to run is that we need to go to Home Depot or Lowe's to get 1x3s because the ceiling in our master bedroom is collapsing in on us. It's currently propped up by 2x4s, which if you've been following us over on Instagram. So we need to get that. But the other thing that I will say that this experience has done is Joseph and I have talked about having this lifestyle where we work together, we see each other, we don't work outside of the house, we work from home, and we homeschool Reeves. Like this was this thing that we've toyed around with. And so this is an opportunity for us to really see what that's actually like. And it's really hard. It's actually hard to get work done and homeschool a toddler. You really can't.
Yeah, somebody has to be, focusing full time. And so, whether that's really conducive to working, some people don't work at odd hours. And so you can only adjust your schedule so much. And my schedule is set. So, I can only do anything outside of that. But it's we always talk about it. And, if our jobs change or something like that, it might be something that we could do, but not in the current scenario.
The last thing that's changed for me personally is it used to be, this was the one time I would leave the house. Every 2 weeks, I would go get my lashes done. Well, I did not go get my lashes done this past week, and I'm not going to get them done for the foreseeable future. So one of the last purchases I made on Amazon was to get some strip lashes, which is what I have on my eyes right now. So that's been an adjustment, but it did actually get me to pause and get out of the spending habit that I had, which was to constantly every 2 weeks spend 2 hours and $130-$40 getting my lashes done. And Joseph's like, wait, why are you getting lashes done? Those look just as good. And I'm like, but they save so much time. And he's like, but do they though?
Yeah, because when you talk about the time going to the place, then the time being there while they apply them, time coming home, and how often you have to do it, it comes out that it is way cheaper and faster to just add some eyelashes at home.
Yeah, and again, because I was getting into the habit of just liking to sit at home, I was always like, man, I gotta leave the house to go get lashes for 2 hours. Like that always felt incredibly burdensome, you know? So it may very well be. I don't know yet. I can't say for sure. It's too early to tell, but I might switch over to lash strips instead of lash extensions. It is significantly cheaper too. We're talking like maybe 200, almost $200 less a month. So,
Now that you know what's going on, in our neck of the woods, let us know in the comments down below what's going on where you are.
and be sure to head on over to onebighappylife.com/workshop and join us live to create your financial crisis plan. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye.